right, what's up guys? How we doing? Hey, so they made the big announcement about Supermotocross and how they're going to combine the Supercross and the Motocross series. Well, I thought I was just going to do a funny video about Kenneth Feld and Kerry Coombs and how awkward they looked with their wine glasses and their toast to their weird partnership. Man, guys, it took a dark turn here. I am like kind of creeped out by this whole thing. So anyway, before I get into it, check out EBC Brakes. EBC Brakes, best brakes in the business. They're welcome. They've jumped on board with the show. Check out their oversized rotors, clutch kits, but EBC Brakes is kick-ass. Complete Racing Solutions, Coach Rob. He'll get you on a training program. Steel City Men's Clinic, if you need any supplements, if you want to get blood work done, and maybe you're just dragging ass, you want to figure out why, hit them up. If you had a traumatic brain injury and you want to just get some, they've got cures for everything. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna get started on this one, but just so you know, it gets a little bit dark, and this one wasn't nearly as funny as I thought it would be. It turned out to be really serious. So here we go.
I'm in the empire business.
Everybody love everybody!
You all know exactly who I am.
All right, guys, so the basic premise of this whole press conference they did with the Super Motocross series is there's going to be 3 extra rounds. They're going to be progressively worth more, like single points, double points, triple points, to determine the Super Motocross World Champion, which it's stupid. They're having a world champion and it doesn't even have a race outside the United States, but whatever. Do what you got to do, you guys. Then they said they've been working on it for 3 years, or 2.5 years. They keep repeating this, like, say, I don't know, big media, like they're trying to convince us they actually aren't doing this in response to World Supercross. They're absolutely doing it in response to direct competition from World Supercross, and they are attacking them. And that's fair. But stop trying to convince us this was in action and going to happen before this. It's a response. You have a business, you're welcome to. Stop treating us like we're stupid. And that's where I got started in this whole video. I'm like, they think we're a bunch of idiots. So I started researching about Kenneth Feld and how him and Kerry Coombs have this tight bond now. They're like BFFs.
We really like each other. and
it got creepy. So I'm gonna grab my iPad because I don't want to get any of this wrong, because this is some pretty serious stuff that I'm about to talk about. But yeah, they repeat it over and over. They've been working on it for 2.5 years, 2.5 years, blah, 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 blah. If you repeat it enough, does it become the truth? No. I just got a creepy feeling looking at Kenneth Feld and Kerry up there, and I didn't know why, but now I do. So Kenneth Feld has been accused of destroying a journalist's life. Her name is Janice Potiker. So there's 3 separate stories. One called Dirty Secret Under the Big Top. One called The Greatest Vendetta on Earth. Then 60 Minutes did a story called Exclusive Send in the Spies. Seriously, no shit. I can't make this up. This all happened. And I found this stuff. It's all basic. Trust me, you can't tell me people who just went into business with this guy don't know that this is out there. I promise you they do, and they've just overlooked it. So Kenneth Feld, his former CFO at the circus, Charles Smith, told Janice, the journalist. He told me absolutely. He was the one who told me when my article came out in 1999, Kenneth Feld wanted to ruin my life. So at this point, allegedly, Kenneth Feld hired Claire George. Claire George was in the CIA, and he was, in 1992, George had been convicted of lying to Congress about the Iran-Contra affair, but President Bush pardoned him before he served any time. If you remember Iran-Contra, when they sold cocaine to pay for an illegal war and put it in the ghettos, yeah, that actually happened. Janice Potiker has information about the family, their secrets. The dad was, according to her, bisexual, and she came out with a small story in a small paper that has since is defunct, and I could not find her original article anywhere. I don't know, maybe it's been wiped, I have no idea. So Charles Smith, who was Kenneth Feld's right-hand man, told Potiker in an interview, he said, he had hired people to manipulate her whole life for the past 8 years. Feld had spent a lot of money. He may have even tried to destroy her marriage. In fact, Potiker would eventually learn a massive dirty tricks of this operation involving former CIA officials, operatives. It would target wrangling enemies such as people of the ethical treatment of animals and other groups. So she's not the only victim. PETA, there's a lot of people. This is the only one they got caught on. In a deposition, a court-ordered deposition, where if you lie, you go to jail, Smith recalls Feld saying, "Get dirt on her," he said, "ruin her professionally. And why not personally too? Perhaps they could recruit a bodybuilder type to seduce her and wreck her marriage," he told his sidekick, Vice President Charles Smith, according to depositions that would later be filed in court. They said, "Nothing's out of bounds. Spread rumors, throw dirt. Report back to me personally on your progress right away," Feld was reported as saying. For as long as it takes. Like, this is cold-hearted over 8 years. They created a publishing company, bought the rights to her book to shelve it. That's how dedicated this guy was, with money not being an option. According to Google right now, he's worth $2.6 billion. And back then, he was in the top 400 richest people. So money's not an object to this guy. According to Joel Kaplan, the former chief of security for Ringling Brothers and Feld, what I did was illegal, immoral, unethical, and a long list, a very long list. And one of the things he got into is, Kaplan said, yes, Feld's lawyer, what followed is a long list of charges against the circus that would seem to stretch credulity. Kaplan said, "We had sexual assaults, pedophiles on the show. We had, thefts. We had people basically throughout of the buildings. We had people that didn't even have clothes on their backs. We had pedophiles taking kids in, the performers taking them into trailers. We had some vendors who raped a few, and the concierge in the building, and it was on and on." Guys, this is who is running the series. This is who Carrie Coombs has so much in common with. That's fucking frightening. Fucking frightening. This is who's guiding our sport. So these are the people that came up with this, in 2.5 years to combat World Supercross, to keep their free labor. Motocross riders and Supercross riders are the performers. They are the elephants. They don't have PETA. They're just trusting that these people at top have their best interest in mind. They don't. Shocker, they don't. This is why we need a riders association. We need these guys to band together. And I'm not saying any of this stuff is going to happen with Supercross. I'm not saying it has happened with Supercross. I'm saying when you deal with people with it, how do you tell the future? Just look at the history. If this is their history, what's going on? And if MX Sports has this much in common with them, and I guarantee you, there's no chance they would go into business with them if they hadn't researched them. And this stuff's all available. You can just Google it, and this stuff pops up. These stories that I told you about, those are credible sources. It's disheartening. It's misguided, and then in the end, to show how out of touch Kenneth Feld and Carrie Coombs are, they come out at this press conference and do a toast and then shoot off firework, like these little firework things. What? Like, they're so out of touch with the consumer and the racing organization. And people like Kenneth Feld, who allegedly protected or knew about pedophiles, yet just looked the other way. Man, there's a special place in hell for people that do that. And this is a person that we're going to have in charge of Supercross futures and bringing up the next generation of riders. What will they, clearly, if you'll overlook that, you'll overlook anything. It has nothing to do with human beings at this point. It has to do with your money, your credibility, you're worried about you. That's it. And the fact that we know this about Kenneth Feld and that Carrie Coombs has bonded with him so tightly and agreed to have the same goals, it's fucking frightening. Fucking frightening, guys. So yeah, we need a riders association, and I'm sorry this one got so deep, but it freaked me out when I saw all this. I went, holy shit. And I know the things that have been done to me back channeled from MX Sports. Yeah, they're similar to what, this goes right along line with this. This hits pretty home for me. This hits real close to home. I've had to change jobs. I've had some other things happen that were like strange, and I didn't know where it was coming from. I suspect I do now. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get big enough they can't fuck with us, and let's get a riders organization. Somehow we need a riders organization to protect us from these creeps at the top. So thanks, guys. Later.